my life, removing pain. Lord, let my words heal a heart that hurts. I want to spend my life mending broken people. I want to spend my life mending broken people.
Hello and welcome to our 3ABN Today cooking program. We are
The Micheff Sisters. I'm Linda.
I'm Brenda.
And I'm Cinda.
And we here want to tell you Happy Holidays! And do we ever have a holiday program prepared for you?
You are going to love it. We have some incredible recipes. You are going to want to sit down and not miss a minute of it.
And you'll also want to start preparing your holiday dinner as well, and maybe we're going to give you lots of ideas today. This is a wonderful time of year that people all around the world seem to have a little better spirits, don't they?
They do.
They seem to be a little more generous on the holiday time.
And a little more eager to do things for each
others.
other.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if we had a holiday spirit all year long? That we were always thinking about others and wanting to give, don't you think, Sis?
And what we can do for each other.
Yes, and really that's called heaven, and that's what we're all working towards. And someday we are going there by God's grace and mercy.
And we
praise Him.
That's right. We can't wait to that wonderful day. But here on earth, God wants us to be His hands. He wants us to be His and share His love everywhere we go.
To touch the world around us.
To touch the world around us with His love.
Well, we're told we're to bear one another's burdens, and so that means, you know, you'll be happy when they're happy and cry with them when they're sad and, you know, comfort them. We're supposed to be there for each other and support each other.
It's wonderful when we would reach out and support each other. And I love the holidays for that reason, that you have so many more people thinking about that.
That's
right. But you know, sometimes holidays, I mean, in our family, we think of holidays, it's just that we just get such a warm feeling, but not everybody gets that warm feeling. And so, you know, if you know somebody who doesn't, you know, enjoy the holidays or have happy holiday memories, why don't you try this year to make them a happy holiday memory?
By inviting them over for a meal.
Exactly.
And it may be, you might be saying, well, maybe I don't have the facilities, or I don't have what I need to prepare them for a meal or whatever. But there's other ways that you can share Jesus with them. And my sisters and I travel around the world, and we have met a lot of people, and we've had people share with us that they really envied the fact that we had each other, that we had sisters. And that's what we have our church families for. You may not have sisters to support you like I have my two sisters here, but you have a church full of sisters. You have a church full of brothers, and we have a church family that can support each other. And there's many people that they are alone on the holidays. It's sad to them.
Right.
And I agree with my sister Cinda that there's so many people that are hurting right now. And this is above, if you know someone that is, maybe lives alone, somebody that
maybe they're going through a divorce. Maybe they just lost a spouse. This is the season to reach out to them more than any other time of the year, because it's a very hard time for them.
It's very hard.
So we try, and I know in our house, and I know you guys do that too. There's almost always, I can't remember a holiday that we haven't had, several people that we're not particularly that close to, but we invite them over, and they stay the whole day. They come for, the holiday meal, and they stay the whole day, and we'll play games, and
just make a wonderful memory and something special.
Exactly.
When we're doing something for somebody else, That's the real joy of living, isn't it? When we are sharing God's love and we're doing something, we're not thinking of ourselves, we're thinking of somebody else. That's the real joy of giving.
Well, really, that is being like Jesus.
Exactly.
And that's what we need to do, is to be like Jesus. And he said, this is my commandment, that you love one another. And we need to let all that we do, he says, be done with love. And so let's reach out to as many people as we can. Maybe we don't know them, like Cinda said, but it's a time to reach out, put our arms around them and say, you know what? God loves you. Come join our family. We're glad to have you. So,
And you know, we hope that today that you will get some ideas, because a lot of people aren't comfortable with like how to make your table special or how to make some good healthy meals. And we hope that the recipes that we're sharing with you today, that you will be able to make a nice holiday meal for your family and those that you know around you.
That's right. Well, let's take a look at some of the recipes that we're going to prepare today. We're going to start off with my sweet potato stuffing.
Oh, and I love those sweet potato roses you made, sis.
and then we're going to have some molded potato salad.
Oh, and that's beautiful,
That's beautiful.
too.
I love that.
And then my elegant holiday roast.
And that is absolutely elegant. You can see where it got that name. And Christmas cranberry cake.
oh,
And then we're going to have some pecan pumpkin muffins.
Now that really, now you might notice for the people that watch the Micheff sisters cooking, we usually always do 2 recipes apiece. Today, Cinda is going to do 1 recipe because her elegant holiday roast will take that much time. And
And you'll want to
But
see
it's
how
worth
you
it.
want to see
It's
it all.
worth it.
Yeah.
it is definitely worth it, and we want to give her as much time as she needs to show you how to make it. It is amazing. It really is. As all our recipes are really good recipes today, and
Well, let's get
Well,
started.
there's always good recipes.
well, there you
Well,
go.
let's get started.
Well, let me read the recipe for you. For the sweet potato stuffing, you will need 1 medium onion, 4 cups of fresh mushrooms, 2 cups of celery, 6 cups of Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix, 1/2 teaspoon of sage, 4 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of Micheff's chicken style seasoning, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 cup of pecans, 5 cups of sweet potatoes, and for the topping you will need 1 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of soy margarine, 1/2 cup of flour, and a sprinkle or dash of cinnamon. Now,
right.
to save time, this is such a simple recipe. I already have sautéed the onions and the mushrooms and the celery here, so if you will just, they're partially sautéed. So it says if you could crank that up there and get those stirring.
Done.
Done. I have some hot water here we're just going to add the Micheff's chicken style seasoning to. And get that ready in here.
I love McKay's chicken style seasoning. It is one of my favorites.
It is one of
Yes,
my favorites,
and
too.
now it's available. It's non-GMO, so it's not genetically modified, which is really good to
Yes.
know, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, Linda is going to mash some potatoes that have already been
All right.
baked. I've taken them out of the skins. All you have to do is mash them.
Just a sprinkle of salt?
Yes, just salt to taste. So
that
sprinkle
about
of
good?
salt. Well, it depends on whose taste you taste.
Okay, 1 more for your taste.
Well, that
For me,
means
probably not.
that
So
means
mash
I
it?
should probably
Mash
taste
away.
it for him.
Mash away. So while Linda's mashing away, you saute away.
All right, I'll just saute away here. I mean, I'm just, you know.
Oh, that's right. Well, you know what? God wants us to be happy Christians, right? Someone said to me, you girls are entirely too happy. Can you be too happy?
Oh, okay. Then
Seriously?
you know what? I'm going to do this program like this.
You know,
No, she's not.
you know, it's really true.
Really want me
Daddy,
to saute this
Daddy
stuff?
said that if you are happy, notify your face.
Or if you love Jesus,
Yes.
notify your
That's
face.
right.
And that is really true. So when you love Jesus, how can you not just smile? God wants us to be happy Christians.
Well, then my face just got notified because I'm tired of this. I'm going to do this.
All right, so we're going to saute that over there. And can you put that bowl over there,
Is
sis?
this good enough?
Oh, no, you don't. I need this bowl. Oops. I need this right over here because I'm going to make my topping. And to make the topping, while they were sauteing, she's mashing away, I am going to just take some brown sugar, the flour, and I'm going to take and put the margarine in here. and then I'm going to put one of my gloves on because I like to get in there and mix with my hands, and it's just cleaner and a lot less messy, and it just goes
It
fast.
feels like you can get more done with it too.
I know. So I get my gloves on, and look, I'm just cutting and with that margarine in with that flour and the sugar, and just mixing it up.
You know, I
And that's
think because
just-
when we were kids, Mom taught us to do things with our hands.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. You know, this holiday season, think about all the things that somebody has done for you that made you really happy. Think of something really thoughtful somebody's done for you, and then do that for somebody else. I had a lot of fun not long ago. I was going through a drive-thru to get a drink, and when I could hear the order being placed for that, because while they were waiting for mine, I could hear them placing the order. Well, when she came up with the amount and told them how much it'd be, I said, look, I handed her more money. I said, I want to pay for that car behind me. And she said, what? And I said, yes, when they get up here, just let them know that Jesus loves them and somebody else does too. And that just, I didn't get to see the reaction. Doesn't matter I didn't get to see the reaction. It made me happy.
It made you feel good.
We're always happy when we do something for someone else.
That's true.
That is just the ultimate of happiness, and that's what Jesus did, is an example.
Exactly.
That's right.
And you know, speaking of example, get your children involved. That teaches them the joy of doing something for other people. So try and think of ways you can you can involve your children.
Just a
into
second
doing
here.
it.
We're just adding this. Add that. And I'm going to get the cooking spray. This is how fast and easy this goes together, folks. Just spray with a little nonstick cooking spray. Okay, sis, mix that up. We're going to just put that raw. As soon as she mixes that up, we're going to put this.
You want the pecans?
And put the pecans right in there. That's good. And here we
Okay,
go.
here, you take this, I'll hold this.
All right. And here we go.
Well, that looked pretty easy.
It's very easy for the stuffing. Just, that's good. That's good. Don't show Mom. Let's turn the pan the other way. Okay? And so we just put that in the dish like that. Potatoes go next. And just mashed potatoes. That's all that is. And we bake them and then
Mashed
mash
sweet
them.
potatoes.
And mashed sweet potatoes. And you're going to put that around like this. And put the top, spread the
So that's just the
on
topping
top.
for the dressing.
Yep. And then after that's all on there real nice, then you're going to add your, I'm being really quick about this here, but you're just going to add your topping. When you get all that done right here, you're going to bake it in the oven for about 1 hour at 375, and it's going to come out just like that. Ready to eat. See the nice layer?
Beautiful.
And I just decorated with a sweet potato rose.
Wow.
You know what else is beautiful and it's delicious too? Is Linda's molded potato salad.
Ooh.
You want to read the recipe, sis?
For that, you will need 6 cups of potatoes cooked and diced, 1/3 cup of dill pickles diced, 1/2 cup of green olives sliced, 1/2 cup of red peppers diced, 1/2 cup of carrots grated, 1 1/2 cups of veggies, 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt, and salt to taste. Well, this is one of those dishes that is fun to make. Already, and you can have your kids help peel the potatoes. My husband helps me. He loves to peel potatoes, so he loves anything to do with potatoes. So if I say, honey, can you peel potatoes? He said, sure, you know, or sometimes he'll see what I'm doing. He'll say, can I peel the potatoes? You know, so it's like, it's awesome.
And you know, my husband, he wants the skins on, even for potato salad.
Does he?
Yep.
Well, I think my husband would probably eat it that way too. So we're gonna put the potatoes in there, and then this is some veggies, which is some vegan, like vegan mayonnaise.
I think it's one of the best vegan
I
ones out
know
there.
it. My family loves it. They just love it. And we don't, you know, we don't eat a lot of it, but we have it for sometimes.
I personally don't like any kind of mayo, but I like it. I like this one.
This one is, this is seasoned salt, and we're just going to do a little bit of salt, and you can do salt to taste. So we'll do some of that. And I always take and stir it up right in here so the seasonings get mixed up in the dressing before I move it around, you know, stir it in.
right.
Because that way I know that I got my seasonings evenly distributed. Okay, and then we're just going to put the green olives in there, and I've got some red
She's winding up
peppers.
now since.
Oh, I know.
And color
I
it
knew
like
that was
a
coming.
rainbow. You need rainbows even during the holiday times because they're such,
Yeah.
you know, rainbows are a promise from God. You know, that
love
He will
that.
always care for us and will never, you know, be destroyed again, you know, like God will not destroy like He did the flood.
That's
There'll
right.
never be another flood.
My friend Eva in Tasmania, she was traveling with her little grandson, and he was struggling, and he had his grandma stop and offer prayer for him on this particular thing. And as they turned it down they have a long driveway to go to the road. As they were headed down the driveway, all of a sudden he said, "Grandma, stop!" And he looked, and over their house was this huge, beautiful rainbow. And he said, "Jesus is answering our prayers right now."
And it's true. He does those things for, you know, for little kids that they can see that He's real and He loves them.
Well, I had the privilege of meeting her grandson and him telling me that story himself.
Oh.
And I didn't tell him that his grandma had already shared it with me.
Well, you don't want to spoil a story. So can you spray this with some vegetable spray? You can put it in any kind of a pretty dish that you want. The idea is that you put it in here and you let it sit overnight. So you want to make it the day before, and you let it sit overnight, and then
With this?
I just like to. I don't put it all in one
Because you
spot.
have to do even.
Yeah, I have to. You just want to
be careful.
evenly put it around.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that that is good, beautiful. You know, sometimes I like to do is little individual ones.
Oh,
You can put 'em
yes,
in muffin,
that's a good idea.
Muffin cups, the big muffin cups, and you do
bit here.
little individual ones. And they plate up so nice when you're doing a really nice dinner. I like to do that.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to do it. You can do it in a
That's good.
Springform pan,
in
even.
springform, make it look
Yeah.
like a cake. So
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. Now you're just going to pack it down.
See, I like potatoes so much, it would be a treat for me. So you can make it look
You're
like
going to
a
pack
cake.
it down, put it in the refrigerator for overnight, and then when you take it out the next day, just before you want to serve it, you just take a little sharp, thin knife and just go around here and then go around this part of it too, so that you're doing, you're loosening
the
it up,
edges.
and then you put a plate on top and flip it over, and to just barely lift the edges up, and it comes down. Now, if there's a little bit, say there's a little bit like this, you just go and pack it right in there, and it packs right in if it falls out. So that's all you need to do.
And Linda has garnished one we're going to show
Beautiful.
you. And Linda, you did a
those
beautiful
are gorgeous
job.
radish roses.
Yes,
That's
you just take and
beautiful.
cut the sides, make it look like a flower, not all the way down, and put it in ice water, and it opens up and makes like a rose.
It's beautiful.
So what do we have for our next recipe?
Well, our next recipe is Cinda's Elegant Holiday Roast.
Okay, for this you will need, for the gluten part, you will need 4 cups of Vital Wheat gluten flour, 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of nutritional yeast, 4 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 15-ounce packages of regular firm tofu, 2.5 cups of water, 6 tablespoons of Bragg's liquid aminos, 2 tablespoons of oil. For the stuffing, you will need 4 cups of cooked wild rice, 1 tablespoon of grapeseed oil, 4 cups of onion finely chopped, 4 cups of mushrooms finely chopped, 8 stalks of celery finely chopped, 10 cups of fresh breadcrumbs, 4 cups of liquid broth, 2 cups of dried cranberries finely chopped, 2 cups of pecans finely chopped, 1 teaspoon of rubbed sage, 1 teaspoon of ground thyme, 2 teaspoons of fresh rosemary minced, 3 tablespoons of Bragg liquid aminos, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and then for the basting broth, you will need 4 cups of hot water, 2/3 cup of the homemade broth powder, 4 tablespoons of oil, For the homemade broth powder, you will need 2 2/3 cup of nutritional yeast flakes, 1/3 cup of onion powder, 5 tablespoons of sea salt, 5 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of dried thyme, 2 teaspoons of rubbed sage, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And then you will also need for the wrapping 2 to 4 packages of bean curd pouch thawed.
Wow.
That sounds like a huge recipe.
It is.
It is, but it is well worth it.
And
trust me.
It is. You know, there's a lot of steps, but it really doesn't take that long. You're going to spend a couple hours, but it's worth it, and it makes a huge gluten roast. But you could also, and I'm going to show you today how you can make it into 2 smaller roasts, and it freezes really well. So you could use one for your Thanksgiving meal and one for your Christmas dinner.
Well,
so that makes it nicer.
That's 2 in 1. I think that's a pretty good deal.
I was out in California visiting David and Katie, and one of my our children, one of our dearest friends, Susie Brockman, actually made this. And I loved it. And I called Susie and I said, "Can I make this?" And she said, "Oh,
She's an
sure."
amazing cook.
She's a really good vegan cook. And then when she sent me the recipe, I said, "Can I make some changes?" And she was like, "You know what? You just may do whatever you want to do with it, but send me pictures and send me the changes that you make."
I think with Susie, we ought to send you a copy of this program. That's what we ought to send you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think so.
We'll do that.
And you know, whenever you get a recipe, I know my sisters and I do
Yes.
this, take that recipe and make changes to it that accommodate your taste
And your family.
And your family. I mean, we do that all the time. So feel free to do that with our recipes. So let's get started.
All right.
Brenda has already started with sautéing our mushrooms, celery, and onions, and it's
done.
almost done. In fact, it's pretty well done. So what we'll do is we'll add the spices.
Okay.
Because you want to add your spices and let the flavors heat and marinate together, and we'll add our Bragg's.
Liquid aminos, which is a substitute for soy sauce. And it really smells the same to me.
Right.
And the flavor
it's
is very close.
unfermented.
It's unfermented.
And then now Susie always uses fresh breadcrumbs. And I decided that I always have the dried breadcrumbs on hand. And
That's because the Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix is what we grew up with. Our mom
Exactly.
always
But you
had
can
that.
use any kind of seasoned ones,
So
right?
if you want to use the fresh breadcrumbs, you can. I'm using the Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix. And that's it. I love it. That's what I grew up with.
That the things that you grew up with, that's kind of the things you tend to go back to when you're even as an adult.
Exactly. So we'll put in these are, I said finely, or the recipe calls for finely, but actually these are pretty coarsely chopped pecans, as you can see, and cranberries. And if you'll hand me that spatula or spoon, whatever, doesn't matter. We'll mix this up.
Sis, maybe one in each hand will do the trick.
Hey,
there you go. See
Look
there?
at that.
Whoa.
And then
I got my gloves on for whenever you need me.
the wild rice.
Okay. Put that in here.
Just put it all in.
Hey, I'm just going to do just like
There
that.
you go.
How's that?
In fact, I am going to get, boy, Melissa is so, Brenda's assistant, Melissa Hoffman, and CQ is, Nybauer, they're amazing. We always have gloves in our pockets because she walks around the set. Every time we use a
Making
pair,
sure we
she
have
puts
everything
another
we
pair
need.
in our pockets.
But they work good.
Melissa is my kids' time assistant, but honestly, she's our Micheff sister assistant, too.
Oh, my, she's amazing. So, wild rice, and you know what? If you don't like wild rice, then use a brown rice. And,
Here, can I
Sis?
get in there and get happy with this? Yeah.
that's, okay.
We were trying to figure out what to name this. And our friend Bonnie said, oh, name it Happy Holiday Roast, because the turkey sure would be glad he's not in it.
Okay, go ahead and add our sauteed vegetables.
All right. Whoops. And just, right there we go.
And then if you'll mix, now that homemade broth powder, I've already mixed the broth powder together. I'll just stand right here and you won't be able to see me, huh? All the steam.
It's all coming my way, too.
Mix the homemade broth powder into the water, and you will use 1 tablespoon per cup of the broth powder when you use it.
All ready to roll?
Go ahead. And
Ready to
sis,
roll.
well, I'm going to let you mix this up,
Oh, boy.
and that is ready
That's
to
what
go.
I was waiting for, let me tell you. But hey, Melissa thought of me, too. She gave me the handy-dandy gloves, and I'm going to use them.
Okay, let's move our bosh over here. And sis, if you will you want to keep your dry ingredients separate first. So sis, in our big bosh bowl, we're going to mix, and you can use a food processor, you're going to mix your dry ingredients. So if you'll put your dry ingredients in here, okay? And then I'm going to add the wet ingredients. Now this gets challenging because I'm going to add this in the tofu into here, into our blender. And you see how I did not use the liquid in it. Okay, that's
Does this go in here too?
yes, all the
And
dry ingredients.
And this too.
Correct. That's our
All right.
nutritional yeast flakes.
All right.
And I'm going to add the Bragg's liquid aminos, the oil, and then the 2 cups of water. Did I say 2 cups of water or 4? I think I said 2. Oh, no, I did say 4.
Okay.
Thank you, Josh. Our floor director just said, you said 4. Josh is keeping me honest. Thank you.
Well, speaking of honest, can I have a confession to make?
What?
I actually took a lot of your stuffing that was already in the room when we were prepping, and it is so good, just like this. I actually had like 2 small bowls of it. You know, that was my lunch. It was wonderful. So if you're missing any, I'm guilty.
Well, as you can see, I'm probably not going to be able to tell because, you know. Okay, so you're going to blend this. So we're going to blend it. And get it. You want to get it nice and smooth. Let's see if let's do one more time. We're really challenging this one. Okay. All right, now we'll take this off our bosh, and if you have a bosh, boshes are wonderful. If you don't, then do a food processor, and you're going to put this on, and this has our dry ingredients in it. We're going to put the lid on, and
A Bosch takes the work out of it, I'll tell you. It really does.
I don't know what happened to the lid of this, but it got lost in the prep kitchen, so we're just going to hope it doesn't fly all
Here,
over everywhere.
this is where sisters come in handy.
We're,
Here we go.
we're doing the lid thing. This is,
Hey, it works. Hey, whatever works.
I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have my sisters.
Okay.
Okay, then you're going to take the liquid and you're going to pour it in like that. And then what you're going to do is mix this up. Well, they can see in it now. I think it's going to be fine. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this on and let this mix for 10 minutes. Now, if you don't have a blender or anything, then you can go ahead. I'm going to, for the sake of time, I'm just going to push that over here. And because I've already made some ahead of time, because you're going to let that go for 10 minutes, turn it off. Let it sit for 1 hour. And I just leave the lid on. Which
Not
we
2
can't find.
hours.
1 hour.
Okay.
And then you'll turn it back on again and let it knead for another 10 minutes before you use it. Okay? So, and sis, if you'll get some parchment paper out.
Okay. I just happen to have, again, compliments of Melissa. Okay, now what are we doing?
Parchment paper. And you're gonna, the reason why I do it right on the parchment paper, you are going to bake it on the parchment paper. Now you'll see, I'm only gonna do half of it. The one I did for the sample for the program today, I used all of this gluten, and it makes a nice, really large roast. But I'm gonna do it in half because you can do 2.
Which looks like you could easily feed 50 people. No, seriously.
So I'm gonna do 2. I mean, and you can, like I said, it freezes really nice. And sisters, actually, I mean, you can try, if you'll hold the paper for me.
I can do that. Ooh. Well, I thought I could do that.
I'm gonna roll it out. And you know what?
So you might want to have some help with this project.
Susie, I don't know how you did this, but sisters, let's just do this. You'll want to get a nice rectangle.
I gotta
and
put my gloves on.
you can stretch it.
Just like pizza dough?
Actually, yes. I mean, this is, well, not too much, because if you tear it, it's really hard to get it to get it back together again. So try really hard not to tear it, because it really is really hard to do. As soon as we can.
Got the tear going on right here, so.
Okay,
I'll pinch it together.
let me lift it up again. And let's go like that. Stretch again. Sis, if you guys hold the paper, I'll stretch
Okay,
it.
there you go.
Well, I know that Susie has her daughter, Brianna,
Help
who's
her with this?
actually, she's actually gotten to be a really good cook too, like her mom. And, okay. Now what we're gonna do is if you'll take, while I'm getting this last corner, we're gonna take the stuffing mix
In the middle?
and put it in the middle.
How much?
And just spread it all over.
How
You
much?
want a nice thick layer,
More than that?
because like you said, this stuffing is delicious. Doesn't it smell good?
It really does. More?
Very nutritious, too. That
You want more?
wild rice.
Yes.
Okay.
More. There you go. I think a little bit more over here on the end.
Okay.
There you go.
More?
A little bit. I think that might do it. Well, I don't know, a little bit more.
Wow.
Okay. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to roll it. Hold
Okay.
if you'll hold the paper
Okay.
down, I'm going to roll it. And you want to try and roll it nice and tight, like that.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll stick it in the middle of this. Now what you'll do is you'll put this in your pan.
Okay.
Here, stick it in your pan, and you're gonna bake it with this parchment paper. Now we're gonna take, I've already mixed the broth together. This is the basting broth. This is where you took the 2/3 cup and you did the basting broth in water. So you're gonna take the basting broth, and you're not gonna wanna tear that.
Okay.
Let's move this.
Okay.
The reason why you're gonna have to move this,
Oops. Okay, there you go.
you didn't know.
All right.
Okay, this is because you want to make a well.
Okay.
I actually use a deeper pan for this. So you're going to pour this broth over, and now pour like half of it. And you're
Okay.
going to want to save it, because we're going to put a topping on it, and I'm going to show you the topping. What you'll want to do now is you put this in a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. Pull it out. Using your parchment paper, roll it over. Then you put it back in the oven for another 30 minutes. Then you're going to take it out, and we're going to use our bean pouch. And we'll quickly show you how to do our bean pouch. You have a
I have one.
For those who don't know what a bean pouch is, you get these in the frozen section.
I'll
at
hold
the-
it
at
up
an
over here,
Asian
sis,
store.
while you're showing them this. I'll show them, and you can see what that looks like on the camera.
Okay.
How's that? Okay, something just like that.
Okay, and
Right.
so this is what it looks like when you come out, and you're going to open it like this, and it's really, you have to be really
delicate.
careful. It's really delicate because it tears really easy, and sometimes it's really hard to find where it starts and where it, stops. But like this, going to open up your bean pouch. And then, now you're going to see, got real decorative with it, but you can just lay it across here and tuck it in if you want, like this.
You're going to keep layering this,
And you
then
just
what?
keep layering it, and then you're going to pour your broth over it again, and then you're going to put it back in the oven for another 30 to 45 minutes, and that's it. So it wasn't too bad.
No.
And look at, she has one already prepared for you. Now that is the entire loaf.
That's
So
right,
that's for
that's
your,
the
that's
entire
for
loaf.
your,
And I love how you cooked vegetables and put it all around it.
and that's your holiday meal, and your for your, not only your family but your guests.
Exactly. So when you make this, I want you to make the whole one and invite enough people over to eat that.
All right.
Well, something that goes with this is our Christmas cranberry cake. The recipe calls for 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of sugar, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of water, 1 cup of Silk Original almond milk, 1/4 cup of canola oil, 1 teaspoon of almond extract, and for the topping, you will need 3/4 cups of flour, 6 tablespoons of margarine, 3 cups of fresh cranberries, and 3/4 cups of sugar. For the glaze, you will need 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 2 teaspoons of almond milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I love cake, and I love cranberries, and I love Christmas, so.
And I love cooking.
And I love you guys.
I love going on around here. But that's the reason for the name of this cake. It's just a Christmas cranberry cake. And it's so wonderful to enjoy the types of products that are available that are seasonal. So cranberries may be, seasonal for us in December. Somewhere else in the world, it might be, seasonal another time of year. So whatever fresh
Make it
vegetables
whenever you
or
want.
products, are really good. But usually cranberries are available in most stores, I think, all year long. So you don't have to cook this just at Christmas, bake this just at Christmas. Just change the name, Just call it cranberry cake, and we'll be all set with that. And here is what we're going to do, Linda. You're going to just mix up
All this
that-
here? All this here?
all the dry ingredients are going to go in there, and mix
right.
them all up, and then we are going to just make a well and put in the wet ingredients. So just as soon as you stir all that up, sis, make me a well in the middle.
All
Oh,
right.
wait a minute, we got to put the sugar in too. This wouldn't be very sweet with cranberries without some sugar in it, I'm going to tell you that.
You know what? I can tell you right now, I know I snitch a lot of fruit when we use it, but I'm not going to be snitching this.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so I'm just going to put in the almond milk. And sis, if you just take these over there, please. And our water, our canola oil, and the almond extract.
Ooh, I
And
love almond
that
extract.
almond extract really makes it. And then I'm just going to just mix all that together in here and stir. Now, while I'm doing this, actually, Linda, I'm just going to let you just stir all that together. She's such a great mixer. And
Right.
and in holiday cheer fashion, see, we want to spread the love.
And helping others.
And helping others.
I'm glad to do it.
Sis, can you put in our flour, our sugar, and I'm going to put my gloves on, getting ready, because I'm getting ready to mix it. So then let me just mix that together real quick, and then I'm going to have you put in that soy margarine right there. Linda, how you doing on mixing? Get no lumps there. We don't like a lumpy cake, so get really into that. Good. All right, so I'm going to mix this right here. And now I'm going to just add that soy margarine and put it right in here. And I just crumble it with my fingers, just like that. Just crumble it. Take the flour, and what you're doing is you're just twisting your fingers a little bit to just break that up into just small little, pea-sized pieces.
And
That's
if you
it.
don't have gloves and you want it, you can use a pastry blender.
That's right. Now, Cinda, will you take that while Linda's blending away here? I think that looks good, pretty good, cis.
Is that
You're
it?
going to spray that.
Well,
That's
all right,
it.
because my arm was getting tired.
Yes. I'm going to keep my gloves on, so you girls are going to have to help me out. Cinda's going to spray the pan. And then, Linda, can you put the
in a
batter
layer.
into all...
Oh, put it all in?
Put it all in. And Cinda, put your cranberries in here. There, see, and I'm tossing it in this topping mixer so it coats those cranberries. Okay, just like that. That's our topping mixture. And Mom isn't watching right now, so you can go ahead and take that out.
I about have it all, whether she's watching
All right,
or not.
Mom, all right. Well, she got it all. So now, Cinda, just hold that over for me, and I'm just going to sprinkle all this. I kind of get my cranberries going a little bit all over evenly, and just put all that around there like that.
That looks so pretty.
And then we're going to get the topping all spread around evenly. And here we go. And take that. And now we're going to bake this for about 1 hour at 375 degrees. And what you're going to do is, when it starts to, the last 15 minutes, if it's starting to look like it's starting to get golden, you want those cranberries to still stay that nice pink color, just put a piece of foil over it those last few minutes before, when it's baking. And it comes out so nice because this is a springform pan, so you just undo it right here and lift it off, and it's ready to serve. And I have one all prepared for the holiday table.
Oh, that is
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
Well, I have the perfect solution, don't we, sister, to top it off is Linda's pecan pumpkin muffins.
All right, for that you will need 1 cup of white whole wheat flour, 1 cup of unbleached flour, 1 tablespoon of Rumford baking powder, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 1/8 a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup, 1/2 cup of agave nectar, 1/2 cup of canned pumpkin, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of canola oil, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of soy milk, 1/2 cup of craisins, and 1/2 cup of pecans chopped.
Wow.
All right.
But I'm thinking some people are going to say, what's a craisin?
I was thinking the same thing. They're going to wonder what that is.
That's a crazy raisin.
It's exactly. It's a dried up cranberry.
Yep, that's what it is.
Like a dried up raisin.
Well, we're going to
Or
have...
a nicer way to say it would be a sun-dried
Oh, there
cranberry.
That
Or
sounds
a
more
sun-dried
elegant, yes.
grape.
Okay,
But it might
sis,
not be sun-dried.
if you could chop our pecans, and like I like to do the
All right, so when I
old-fashioned way...
chop, do I just,
No,
is this the old-fashioned way? I just go,
No, you keep everything on the tray. And Cinda's going to be over here, and she's going to cut up the craisins in small pieces.
I can do that.
How chopped do you want these?
I want them like more like this kind of a piece,
All
or
right.
even half of that. So
Oh, so fine.
you're going to do fine, pretty fine.
All right.
Okay, now I am going to start putting the dry ingredients in. Our white whole wheat flour, and I've got our unbleached flour going in here, and we've got our aluminum-free baking powder, and let's see, we have some salt here, and then we have some pumpkin pie spice. It's already starting to smell good. A little bit of cinnamon.
Ooh, it is. I just got a whiff of that. That smells good.
Anything
gonna
with
stir it
cinnamon in it
all up.
smells good.
We're going to just stir it all up. And then we're going to make a well in the middle. And when I say a well, we're just going to push it all up to the side so it kind of has a hole like that in the middle.
Yeah, you know, some people may not know what a well is.
That's right.
You know, we grew up with the well at Grandma's house. That's how we got water when we were little.
That's true.
And we
I was
loved
going to
it.
say, we loved getting water. So even when we weren't thirsty, we wanted to
Okay,
get water from
I
the well.
put the soy milk in. This is almond milk, but you can use soy milk, any kind of soy milk. This is maple syrup. And we actually had some maple syrup trees that we tapped and did it one time and actually made it. I'm not a good person to watch it, though, because my husband told me to watch it, the fire and the big barrel, and I just went in the house for a minute and the whole yard was on fire. So everything was saved, though. The house was saved and everything else, and we did get a couple gallons of maple syrup out of that. So I would say if you're going to watch it, stay right there. And anyways, there's some agave nectar.
So lesson learned.
And some pumpkin. Yes, that was, I didn't do that again. Of course, he didn't have me watch it again either.
I bet not.
Okay, so there we go.
How am I
And
doing on
some
the
canola
nuts?
oil. The nuts look beautiful.
Wow, now
Raisins
that's what
look
I wanted to
good.
hear.
All right, there we go. So we're going to stir this all up here.
But the question is, do the craisins taste good?
Yeah, that's right.
This here will make like 12 muffins. So you just spray a muffin pan with vegetable
I
spray.
should probably go get a muffin pan for you real quick. Just a minute.
All right.
Well, you might need a
My
muffin.
first hint was Melissa was off camera going, muffin pan! Oops.
Okay, both of you can put your raisins in there, your
You mean
craisins.
my craisins?
Your craisins.
My crazy raisins?
Yep, your crazy raisins, your craisins, dried cranberries, and the nuts can go in here.
Okay.
And I'm also
I
going to
love
put
these
the vanilla.
flexible cutting boards because you can just dump them in so easily that way. Isn't that nice?
Them.
I really like that.
All right. So this here we spray. Now usually I have like a little scoop or something, but you just divide this batter in the 12 muffin tins here, and then you'll bake it at 350.
Hey,
More
I
like-
got a scoop. Look at this.
But it gets all over when you do
Oh,
that.
let me see if I can handle that.
Oh dear.
You know, it might.
She makes me nervous.
Now look at that. See, not too bad.
No, you just got a little bit to wipe up. Well, anyways, that's all you do. Bake
Hey,
it
but that was fun.
Bake it for 10 to 15 minutes, and here's some that we already have for you.
I have a confession to make.
What?
Well, they look so pretty in the basket that
I told her she couldn't take one and eat it.
she
See,
told
I
me
wanted you to see
I
how pretty
couldn't
she has it
resist,
arranged.
So
You know, look how gorgeous that is.
I sort of took one.
Sort of. You did take one.
Oh no! It sort of hit my mouth. I might as well taste
She
it
might as
now.
well try it now. She is our official sister tester. You know? And for the record, I did have one earlier too, and it is delicious. It's
And
moist, and
there is no eggs in it.
That's
and
No, that is really seriously good. It is just so moist and soft.
Well, while Cinda's enjoying her muffin, we'd like to share with you, my sisters and I have 5 cookbooks out. A 6th one is on its way, will be out soon. And right now, we'd like to show you how you can get yours.
If you've enjoyed the recipes today and would like to purchase your own copy of one of their cookbooks, including their new cookbook, Family Favorites, you can write to 3abn, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. That's 3abn, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. Or you can call 618-627-4651. That's 618-627-4651. If you'd like to contact the Micheff sisters for speaking appointments or concerts, you can do so at their website at micheffsisters.com. That's MICHEFF sisters.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Mann. Have you ever wondered what it takes to keep 3ABN's message fresh and up to date? We're working constantly on new programs for an ever-growing audience around the world. But how is that accomplished? After working many years in television and radio, I've realized how unusual it is for 3ABN to produce such a large percentage of original quality programming. Most Christian networks use a large number of programs produced by other ministries, and unfortunately, they have little or no control over the content. But we've been called to give a consistent message, and we do not allow the focus to become entertainment or performance-oriented. The clear vision given to Danny Shelton, our founder, was to build a television station that would reach the world with the undiluted Three Angels messages, one that would counteract the counterfeits. And that's what we strive for. We just don't provide family-friendly programming. If it's not squarely based on the Bible, our pledge to you is that it will not appear on any of our networks. When it comes to original programming, we produce 69% of our 3ABN English television content, 67% of our 3ABN Latino content, and 100% of what our Russian language channel airs. Without the Lord and all of you, that would be impossible. But we're continuously blessed with the finest teachers, preachers, health presenters, and guests day after day and year after year. So many people work together to make a television program. Producers, directors, camera operators, studio managers, lighting and audiovisual directors, and video engineers, just to mention a few. But we never forget that the message is the most important part of the equation and bringing the hope of salvation to those who haven't heard about Jesus Christ. We have only one solution: a relationship with our Savior. And whether it's a story of a changed life or a program specifically for children, we want to bring honor and glory to Him each and every minute of every day. And with 6 networks airing 168 hours of programming each week, that's a total of 1,008 hours. How can we do this with such a small staff? The answer is simple: the Lord makes it possible, and He uses you to help. From the beginning, your prayers and financial support have made it all possible. And 25 years later, our message is still strong. So thank you for all you do for 3ABN. Your prayers are felt each day, both at our ministry headquarters and all around the world. If the Holy Spirit impresses you to support 3ABN's worldwide ministry, please send your tax-deductible love gifts to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896. Or call us at 618-627-4651 during regular business hours. God bless you.
We've really enjoyed our time with you.
We have.
And it would not be one of our Micheff Sisters holiday special without a table decoration. To give you an idea how to decorate your tables makes it extra special for your family and friends. And of course, Cinda, we depend on you every year because she is the decorating queen here.
She sure
and
is.
she makes it so simple and yet so elegant. Sis, is this going to take a whole lot of work for somebody to achieve this look?
No, it actually isn't. And I'm going to start with these log candles. And I'll pick up the little one, which I actually forgot to light. So we'll light that. Well, I don't know if I can light that one. But
We might not.
Yeah, we may not do that. What I did was, our brother is the youth director for the Michigan Conference, and if you have not been to Camp Osabo, you need to go because it is beautiful there.
Yes, and when you go, you run up to our brother, Pastor Ken, and say, "Hey, Pastor Ken, how you doing? It's so good to see you." Act like you know him. We're really full him for us, will you? Tell him, yeah, you know him. We've talked about him on the air plenty.
We always do our family reunion at Thanksgiving there together, and so while we were there, I got my husband and I had him get a chainsaw and bless him.
His heart, yes.
Bless his heart. I mean, he carried that chainsaw all over the woods in the snow,
Getting just the right
cut.
Perfect one.
Look at this. Is this not beautiful?
It is.
And I was like, honey, I want this one. No, cut it right here. No, honey, cut it. No, not here, not here. And so all these are from Osabo. And then my brother Jim, who's the executive secretary for the Michigan Conference.
He's actually our brother too, just so you know.
Oh yeah, that's true, he is. What you don't know about him is he does amazing things with wood.
Oh,
He
so
can
gifted.
build anything you want him to do. And he put the holes in the center of these
Pieces of wood.
pieces of wood. And and then all you have to do is, I bought these, you can get these candles anywhere at an inexpensive store, and just drop it in the middle. And so these I can use all year long, really. I mean, seriously, you can use these all year long.
And they're beautiful.
And then I got some little lighted trees, and I wanted it to be, you know, simple. I didn't want it to be loud, and I just put some crystal birds and made it just a little more festive. And then I found a little
Well, if I want to tell you something about the trees, too, that she found that I love, is that they're battery operated. You see the little lights on the trees? They're battery operated, so you don't have to worry about the cords on your table. That's nice.
I know. I like that.
When you shared that with me, I was like, what a great idea.
And then I found a little country church, and put the little country church on another piece of log that my dear husband cut for me, and just sprinkled some snow and put a couple flowers.
Some fake snow.
And it looks very elegant.
And you have a nice, elegant table. Isn't that beautiful?
It went together so fast.
It'd be perfect for a buffet table, where you put we put all the food all around this table for a nice buffet table. Obviously, this isn't one you're going to use to sit down and go and try to get to see your guests.
Honestly, if you wanted to do that, you could take the 2 or 3 smaller candles and put them in the middle, and take your church out, since the church has just one side, and you could take that and put that in the middle, and then you could do that for your main.
You can do it. And you know, as we have good food and made the table look pretty, but really the most important thing is Jesus. He's the reason for the season.
He is.
And you know, we need to lift him up all year long and take advantage of this special time when we can just lift Jesus up, and by helping others and caring and loving each other, there's all kinds of things we can do to help people.
In fact, we talked about at the beginning of the program how we love the season because so many more people are generous and thoughtful and thinking of others. But really, we want to be like that all year long.
Absolutely.
Think about somebody and do something special for them every day. And if you try to make your goal when you get up in the morning, say, Lord, put someone in my path today that needs to know how much you love them. You know, put an idea in my head of something I can do to share you with someone else.
And make your husband and your family a priority. Start with them.
Exactly. Because real Christianity starts at home.
That's right.
That's right.
And
I love the Bible verse that God gave us, where he said he loved us so much.
Oh, yes, it's one of our favorite
God
verses.
gave us the biggest gift of all.
Yes, he did.
He gave us his son.
I mean,
Jesus.
when you think about how incredible that is. In fact, the text that we're thinking about that we've learned even as small children is John 3:16.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
What a beautiful promise that is. Don't you just love that?
Yes.
Jesus is the reason for the season. That's all the time we have today. Until next time, may all your meals be seasoned with God's love. Bye-bye, everybody.
Happy holidays.